It's like, what's worse, going live on time, but without the mic working, or going live a little bit late, but getting the mic working? That's the question. That's the question, and I never know how to answer it. But I decided to go live without getting my microphone popping. Why isn't it popping? I don't know. Why isn't it popping? I don't know. What's everybody doing? Can I get a few Hubie Halloweens in chat? Oh my gosh. Could I just get a few Hubie Halloweens in chat? Could I get one Hubie Halloween in chat? Excuse me. Could I get two Hubie Halloweens in chat? Oh my gosh. Hubie Halloween, Hubie Halloween, Hubie Halloween, Hubie Halloween. Loud on the gain? Well, I'm on the... Dude, why is it not reading from my... Why is it not reading from my Yeti? It's reading from my like default mic, which is kind of annoying me because I've got this Yeti. So why wouldn't it? If I click edit, oh, that's going to F me up, isn't it? Live stream. Can I change my technical settings like while I'm doing this? No, that's going to mess things up, isn't it? Oh, did I add a description? Oh my gosh, I didn't. Let's say back the film. Oh, today, HTTPS. I'm changing the description as we're in this. onyxthemovie.com. Okay, full disclosure, I did have coffee today. Turn off and turn on. I've done that so many times. I've unplugged this and plugged it back in. It's not coming from here, right? It's not coming from here. It's not coming from the Yeti. My Yeti is faulty. No, I use my Yeti every week for a podcast. I used it last night. My Yeti's fine. Okay, I got a really funny story about my VHSs, and we're going to talk about it because something crazy's happened in this garage in the last few days. So let me, but humor me. Is this weird? Can I run and get a LaCroix? I am so thirsty because I've had coffee. I'm just going to get a LaCroix. I'm going to be right back. I'm so sorry. But for anyone that shows up, tell them I'm going to be right back. And, oh gosh, I'm falling into stuff. Here, you can look at her until I'm back. I'll be right back. I'm just going to go get a LaCroix. I have to go get a LaCroix. I have to. Okay, we're back. Did you have a good time hanging out with Leatherface? Was that okay? Sorry. Okay. Is that Cyberghoul? Well, look, there's our little goal chart. Hey, why don't we fill it in? We can fill it in a little bit more. Let's see. Where are we on the Kickstarter? Let me check. I tell you what, if we got to 320 during this live stream, which is only, oh, I can't even think straight. Oh my gosh. Is it $1,000? $900. What'll I make out with? Well, I guess Onyx is the one that needs to make out with stuff. Okay, I'm going to write 320 up here. I'm going to say we're at 320, okay? So that's kind of like just underneath here. We're going to fill that in. We're going to fill this in because it feels so good, because it feels so good and it feels so right. It feels so right. Okay, we are almost at $320,000. I checked the Kick Track page. It tells us that we are at 63% of our goal. Holy moly, holy moly, holy moly, moly, moly. Okay, so VHS tape story. Thank you, Captain Deadpool. Those of y'all know. Okay, Slasher. Advertising on Slasher. I don't even know what Slasher is. So I need to look that up. Let me write that down. Here's what happened to my VHS tapes. All right, for those that don't know, I've been kind of trying to rehab this feral cat in my garage because we work with this rescue, and our 2 cats are rescues, and we foster cats for this rescue every once in a while. And man, sometimes I foster a cat and I fall in love with it. Well, we got a tiny place. We can't have more than 2 cats. Yeah, that's Baphomet up there. So I've been rehabbing this feral cat, and I've been working with the rescue person, and she's been giving me instructions, checking in with me every 2 days. Basically, we have it in a large relocation crate and keep it in there for about a week. Then you start opening up the door to the crate and putting the food outside the crate. So he comes out to eat, and he goes back in his crate. Now, I mean, there's no other way to say it. Okay, he's currently behind this wood paneling. Okay, that's where he is right now. There is a crawl space or a wall cavity right behind this wood paneling, and that's where he is. Even though yesterday, I know it's not blocked right now. Yesterday, I had this blocked, dude. I had all of these extra pieces of wood paneling blocking that corner, and he somehow got behind it. So he's back there just looking at me scared, even though I put his food down here, and I'm telling him, I'm like, dude, but this is the thing. I didn't know he was back there until like 20 minutes ago. I've been thinking, this is a long story, it has nothing to do with our Kickstarter. I thought he went through this behind here and went to the other side of my garage because it's divided into 2 sections. And then I got paranoid that he was trapped like behind the plywood that's behind the wood paneling. And so from the other side of the garage, I drilled high up into the plywood where he could not be, made a little window, popped it out so that I could have my phone down in there to make sure he wasn't trapped between the walls. So while I was drilling on the other side of the garage, it knocked all of my tapes onto the ground. You know what I do. So that's how I live, okay? And if you've got a problem with how I live, I don't know what to tell you. I tell you what bothers me is that Christmas light being out. So I just peeked at him, and he's just staring. He's just back there going like this. And I'm like, well, what? You're the one that's back there. Yes. I'm on a live stream. What? So he's back there just looking up at me like I'm supposed to do something different. You know what I mean? He's like, what are we doing, dude? What are we doing? You're back behind the wood paneling. Oh, we got treats. We've shaken to the treats. We've got the food down there. He'll come out if I stop making noise. But, ask me if I've stopped making noise in this garage since we launched the Kickstarter. No, I've been making noise in here every GD day, including right now. Okay, that's the VHS story. Let's get down to business. Here's the deal. We are in such a good spot, theoretically, he says with caution, That live read on Saturday pushed us ahead by so much. You want me to take care of that? Is that bothering you people? I get it. I liked how it was dangling. I mean, what I really want to do is pick up every one and put them back. All right, I'll put the tapes away while I give you my update. Okay. The script read on Saturday it went so well. I was very, very nervous, not to perform, but nervous to present the script because, as I've told you, it is too long. It's a fat daddy draft. So it takes a lot to not only send it to actors, but then to, present it, especially when you're presenting it for the purposes of fundraising. That's nerve-wracking because you're basically saying, look, I know this isn't done, but I want you to see what I'm going for, and I'm just trusting that you catch a vibe. Saturday was about catching a vibe, and I think people caught the vibe. We raised almost $12,000 during the live stream. I mean, that's more of a bump in less amount of time than we've seen thus far. Now, to be at 320 is great, but these are we're going into the final 2 weeks. That is crazy to me. And there's not going to be time in the final 2 weeks. There's not going to be time to pivot. You know what I mean? You're on track and you've just got to freaking burn it out until day 45. So that's what's a little terrifying because as I've had anxiety throughout this process, a lot of what's calmed me is the thought that, like, dude, you've got 30 more days. Dude, you've got 25 more days. Dude, you've got 20 more days, to figure something new out, to pivot, to come up with another idea, to plan something like the live reading, to come up with a promo to shoot or sketches to shoot. But once we hit that 2 week mark, which is Thursday, we're 2 weeks out from the finish line. I mean, you're just staring it down at that point. You're staring down the barrel. So I'm prepping for the final 2 weeks to be both exhilarating and stressful, which has been what this whole process has been. I keep trying to remind myself, if we get the 500, we're making a movie. Do you know what I mean? And I know that sounds obvious to state, but yeah, it's been super stressful. It's been long days. I mean, I've told everyone I've been working like 19-hour days, 20-hour days, because I still have my 4 other jobs. So it's been really exhausting, but at the same time, the thrill of it kind of makes up for the exhaustion because you're like, yeah, but if we get this money, we're making a movie. And not only we're making a movie that will be fun to make. I love Worm. God bless it. Was it fun to make? I mean, it was fun to be with my buddies. It was fun to a level, but monsters and all these other characters that now I've fallen in love with, that's just like vibes. And it's going to be like the movies I grew up with that I'm putting back on my rack right now. And so I'm just trying to focus on that. I'm trying to focus on the fact that it's going to be a marathon. But if we get that money, we're going to make something that nobody would pay us to make. And I think that's important to point out. A lot of people, some of my haters, just kidding. But I mean, sure, I don't know, haters, but just some people that have been negative, some critics have been like, why don't you pitch this to the studio? Like, okay, this is the mindset. If you can't get it made with someone else's money, like a production company or a studio, then you shouldn't be making it. That's the fucking opposite of art, dude. That's the opposite of art. Crowdfunding is the way to actually make the shit that's pure in your head. And the bottom line is, I've been rejected think about this. I've been in LA for 14 years. How many companies do you think I've pitched to? Toss out a number. Toss out a number. Now ask yourself, How many Bowser projects have been financed by anyone else other than fans? What do we do with that information? What do we do with that information? Hundreds, hundreds. I've had hundreds of meetings in my 14 years in LA. I mean, think about that. I've told stories about my time in LA to my friends back home, and they'll stop me and they'll be like, that's exhausting. I don't want to hear anymore. That's what happens. I have pitched Onyx project after Onyx project to most of the places that people call out, in my comments. They're like, I don't understand. Why haven't you pitched it to so-and-so? I have. Well, I don't understand. Have you ever thought of linking up with so-and-so? I have. Well, what about blah, blah, blah? Oh, yeah, blah, blah, blah has rejected me 10 times. Crowdfunding is the only way to make an Onyx movie. That's it. That's it. No one is coming and knocking on my door. And so the idea that there's only value to something if it can work within a certain structure, whether it be studio system structure or just indie production entities, they still have structure. Do you know what I'm saying? I pitched an idea to a production company that will remain nameless. The script was tight. It was great. Great idea. It just happened to be like the quarter where they weren't backing anything that didn't have a lead that was 24 years old or younger. That was it. That was a mandate. So you can't, you might imagine that all of these companies are looking for the product you have, but it's as simple as you pitch something Onyx based and they're like, dude, I love Onyx. We're not doing anything supernatural actually right now. Yeah, we just got a mandate from our development head. No supernatch. Got it. So just across the board, yeah, nothing supernatural. Okay. You go to the next place. You've stripped all the supernatural elements out of your pitch. You go to the next place and you pitch something real world and they're like, we're actually only looking for supernatural. And you're like, yeah, got it. Give me 2 seconds. Flip, 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 flip. Let me put all the supernatural stuff back in. Here you go. Oh, the development head you met with, he got fired, dude. I don't know who you are. Oh, but from the guy with the thing with the pitch, doesn't matter. Got it. You pitch to places that you get this close. And then they go, dude, this is awesome. But we're actually leaving for 9 months to make a movie in Norway. So we'll talk to you next year. And as a creator, do you just fucking sit? You just hang out? I mean, I've never have had the energy to wait is an energy I do not have. And you could argue that's hurt me because while I pitch something or send someone a script and I say, you want to make this with me? And they go, let me think about it. I've already gone off and shot something else. You know what I mean? I can't wait. I can't sit. I have never been able to. So the only way to know that in a matter of months I could be making a movie is crowdfunding this Onyx movie. Any other pitch, any other phone call? Hey, would you like to talk with Andrew Bowser? That's just fucking, you might as well just go to Vegas and hit the slots. Like, it's that much of a gamble. This is the only surefire way we will be creating something based on all this that I've been, futzing around with for a decade. That's the only reliable way forward. Now, can you tell I've had coffee? Jesus. Oh my gosh. Am I okay? Yeah, this is my, leveled out. So anyway, and and I feel like I definitely, I don't want to nitpick or like harp on just the negative post, but sometimes it is a little frustrating when you have exhausted every option and then you're getting criticism like, why are you crowdfunding this? If somebody wanted to make your movie, it would happen. Like that, like the cream actually rises to the top. Do you think the cream actually rises to the top? What? Do you think the cream actually, if anyone thinks the cream rises to the top, I mean, just look at the funniest person you can think of. Like you're funny. I know so many people out here. They're the funniest people I know. Are they on shows? Are they in movies? No. Most of the funniest people I know still haven't found a way into the industry. The cream does not rise to the top. What rises to the top is some fucking combination of luck and oftentimes I mean, yeah, connection, but right time, right place, or just like right type, right place, you know? I think I could pitch that there's a world where I pitch some Onyx horror comedy and it's the right time, right place. But waiting on those stars to align, you're 50. You know what I mean? If you're like, all right, let's see if these stars will align for my, you're 50. So that's why we're crowdfunding. Does that make sense? Oh my gosh. Have I tried armed robbery? No, 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 no crime, no crime. Okay. And also, right, like I like the idea genuinely, and I'm not just saying this, I genuinely like the idea that if we get this funded, I'm going to have 4,000 to 5,000 people to directly thank. Like you, this movie wouldn't exist without those 4,000 or 5,000 people saying, I want to see this. That's like such a clear exchange between audience and artist. Like, I want to see this. So let's make it. Here's some money. Here's a little bit that adds up to a lot, that adds up to all of it. And I just like dream of the day, if things are open back up and we're at a film festival, where it's like, you know who made this movie? 4,000 people, 5,000 people that gave a rip, that didn't just sit back and go, yeah, I wish there was a movie like this, or I like that guy from YouTube, he's funny. I mean, it'd be interesting to see what he would do. That they said, I want to see a movie like this. I'm gonna activate it. I'm gonna fucking, juice it. Sorry. I really like that idea. And it didn't come from some production entity that made sense of it. Oh, actually, this makes sense for us. Yeah. No, this makes sense for us because we were looking for something like this. It wasn't about it finally being kind of qualified in someone's eyes. It was qualified because fans said, I want to see that. And that's nice. I like that. I like that. I like that. Oh, okay. Last tape. For those that didn't know, all of my VHS tapes fell because I was drilling from the other side of the garage because I thought there was a cat stuck behind the wall. Does that catch everybody? Catch everybody up? Look at this little. Oh no! All I want is for this green bulb to be fixed. That's all I want. Okay. I had a whole list of things to talk about. In the private Facebook group, people had some FAQs that I was going to talk about tonight. Okay, so where should I start? Okay, God, I saw some questions in there. Oh, the cat's still right back there. The cat's still right behind there. Yeah, there's a private Facebook group. Do you remember for like 2 weeks? Why don't you move the light so it's off camera and the working ones are in the frame? Oh, the strip's not that long. It like the Christmas lights end as soon as they're off frame. I don't have that much leeway. Okay, yeah, a couple weeks before the campaign, we were asking people to sign up for updates if they wanted updates about the Kickstarter, and when you signed up, you were sent to a private Facebook group. So now, I mean, I don't even know how you can get in the private Facebook group now. Andrew, will you do the making of the movie? Yes, Wayne, we're going to do some behind the scenes video throughout. Okay. Oh, did we get to 320? Ty, I missed that. That's tight as hell. Are we at 320? I should make out. No, we're not at 319, 704. Don't lie to me. I was going to make out with something. Grab a working bulb that is out of the frame and put it in frame. No, there are no. Oh, yeah, there might be this one. What color do you think that is? Blue? No, it's green. Okay, hold on. Is this what everybody signed up for? They signed up for Christmas light bulb maintenance hour. Well, that's what you're getting. Christmas light bulb maintenance hour. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Okay. Oh yeah, do I have any interest in making serious movies? Yeah, no doubt, Julian, I do. But I just don't think I could have gotten anything crowdfunded. I pitched self-tape as a feature. People said no. I pitched Worm. When we made Worm, I pitched a remake of it, like an Evil Dead 2, where it wouldn't be me. It would be like Aaron Paul. And people said, no. So, you got to just kind of go where the tide leads you. What? That's not a freaking saying. Thank you, Wade. How many locations do we currently have picked out for the movie? None. We're not doing any location scouting or moving on any of that until we have the Kickstarter, the money. I mean, you're just going to be. I can't activate a location manager. I've been looking at some photos with my DP, my director of photography. We've just been like a house like this, and he's like, that would be nice, but yeah. What does the pin look like? It looks like the Ghostbusters logo, but it's Onyx and it says "Fight the Lull." Okay. How much will the movie cost, and will it be in stores? So the way this works is like we will produce the film, we will make the film. Then we will hopefully sell it to a distributor. Where it winds up and how much it costs, that's not up to me. That's up to the distributor. Am I directing it? Of course I'm directing it. Yeah, I'd be on a podcast that only has 60 listeners, The Ghost Villa. Email me, Andrew at andrewbowserdirector.com. I'll be on everybody's podcast. I'm trying to promote the heck out of this Kickstarter. Question. Would you call it? Oh, so question. So the pin Fight the Lull is only available to people that are already backed. That was like a specific incentive for people that are already backed, because there's going to be other new tiers as we get closer to the end that will hopefully attract new backers. Have I even said the URL yet? onyxthemovie.com? What are we doing? I don't even have my talking cane. Golly, is this even a live stream? I mean, I know I got a cat trapped in the walls, but what are we doing? Okay. Ty, good question. Do I have any investors that are waiting until the end of the campaign to throw in? Currently, no, and I'm just being honest. I host two podcasts. One's called The Untold Hour and one's called Alter Weekly. But I'm talking about popping into other people's podcasts. Yeah. Okay. So what was the, no, I don't have any investors currently that are willing to pop in. I got an email early on from someone and he kind of sounded like he'd be interested in that. He was like, let me know how it goes. And I was like, I will. And then I followed up with him like a week ago and he didn't respond. So I don't know. Oh yeah, I know people are getting their stimmies. Hey, however you want to use your stimmy. Again, you're not charged until April 2nd. Oh yeah, I'm not going to try to get the kitty out. No, but this is my office, so I can't leave. Do you know what I mean? Like I have to be in here all night shooting Onyx content and editing. So I can't leave. The kitty, I'll leave when I go to bed. My favorite horror film was Pumpkinhead. Hey. Okay, let me look at some of the questions from the Facebook group, just because I feel like there was a couple, okay, one question said, "How am I holding up? How's my blood pressure?" Fine. I mean, it's it is what it is. It's a roller coaster, but it is what it is. I mean, I know you're a fan of Fright Night, but do you like Lost Boys and Near Dark? Love it. Honestly, probably love Near Dark more than Lost Boys, but I love them both. How long have I been interested in filmmaking? Probably since I was 8. I wanted to start acting. And then by the time I was like 13 or 14, I wanted to write and direct because I'd go to auditions and they made me uncomfortable. I was like, I can't. I remember I went to one audition and I had studied this scene and over and over. And then I got there and I started the scene and they're like, I'm sorry, what scene is that? And I was like, it's scene 14 from blah. And they're like, no, we're not doing that one. We're doing this scene. And it was a whole new scene. And as an actor, you're just like, got it. So I'm fucked. Cool. Let me just step into the hallway and read this real quick. And then I'll come back and impress you. I'll need to be able to wow you with the thing you just handed me. Okay, this will go great. Hate it. Hate it. Hate it. So whether or not I wanted to become a director out of a deep need to have control over my situations, or whether or not I'm actually a talented director, we've yet to find out. Is there a cut in Worm on the water? Yeah, in Worm, the cut is when he jumps into the water. That's where we cut to stitch two cuts together. No, I mean, YouTube donations will go to me, and I will put those YouTube donations toward creating content for the campaign. But the only money that goes directly to the Kickstarter is money that goes directly to the Kickstarter. That's what you got to do. That's what you got to do. You just got to give to the Kickstarter. Onyxthemovie.com, onyxthemovie.com, pew, pew, onyxthemovie.com. Am I prepared if I come in just under 500 grand? What will I do? Some butts take their pledges. I've not heard you address that yet. What would I do? I mean, I'd scramble to find more money. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I hit 320. All right. Well, I'll make out with something. How about, does Bowser make out, or is, oh wow, we hit 320. All right. How about, I'll just give Leatherface a little kiss. Not quite a make out, just a little smooch. I've got to have some decorum. Let me just read a couple more of these questions. Sorry. Oh, what you said recently, horror movies don't scare you. If you had to pick, are there any horror themes that scare you? No, I don't really. It's not, I don't get scared from horror movies, you know? It's like a mood thing. So no, it doesn't really get under my skin. Wow. If film is your day-to-day, what do you do to relax outside of that? Hey, boy. Nothing. I don't do anything. I don't do anything. I don't do anything. I mean, this is all I do. I don't have hobbies. I go on a hike every day, even though I haven't for the last 30 days. But for a year, every day I went on a hike. And when I'm on my hike, I'm listening to music to get ideas for stuff to make. That's probably a problem because I think having hobbies is important. I don't play video games. I don't do anything except for this all the time, all day. Okay, Jose asked, they said, this is an odd question. Do I talk to my friend Olivia? I talk to my friend Olivia. That's true. That is the thing I do in between going on my hike and working on all of this stuff. That's a very good thing to point out because that is a truth. I talk to my friend Olivia in between going on hikes and working on my stuff. All right, let me see these other questions. Andrew, how do you deal with being wiped out from work and push past that to work on your own art? That's a good question, Jose. I like to write, but I'm in school and then have an internship, so my days are packed and I'm dead by quitting time. Right. You work freelance, you said, which has its own exhausting days, yes, but you were still able to get 3 pages of script written a day. Is it sheer determination or training? It's at this point, it's training. You got to get to, I mean, I hesitate to recommend this because my recommendation is going to be like, you've got to get to a point where you burn the candle at both ends and you really fry yourself. But you do. I mean, you don't, like, case in point, last night, I had to record a podcast. I had my freelance work prior to that. So I had to get my freelance work exported and delivered. And then I had to do Alter Weekly. And we wrapped Alter Weekly at 12 midnight. And I step in here. I put on the Onyx costume. I flip on my lights and camera. And I start recording that Fight the Lull pin video. Now, is there a moment in my head where I say, oh, can I just go to bed? couldn't I just go to bed before 3 a.m. for once? But then you think about the 16 days, 17 days you have left, and you think about what that Fight the Lull pin could do as an incentive. And, you sit down here and you film the video. And you've got to make all it up. You got to make it. You got to find the jokes. You got to be like, never before since Citizen Kane and John Travolta messing up at the Oscars. It's to the point now where I don't have to have energy to do that. Do you know what I mean? It is just training, whether it be physical or mental. I just keep going. I just keep going. Fight the Lull is on the pin. I mean, that's the idea. I know what you mean. It's not really evergreen, but that's kind of the point. It's kind of like super inside joke for only the people that helped us juice it at this point. Do I ever use drugs? No, I do. I have like, brain octane oil in my matcha or my coffee and collagen protein. I don't even really smoke the W very much. But I do every once in a while if I really know, like Friday night, I can relax. I'll try to have like a little bit of weed. But not even much of that. Cause sometimes I still get paranoid. Cause I was never much of a Schweed boy. Okay. So let me read a couple of these questions. What? I was just on the question. Where is it? Oh my gosh, I lost my little Facebook group questions. Oh, it's because Facebook's like, Facebook groups are crazy. They just like swap out what's at the top. They're like, did you want this at the top now? Or no, the thing from before? Yeah, I wanted the thing I was reading to stay at the top because I was reading it, dude. And now it's just like Gorn. It's Gorn. I can't. Oh, okay. FAQs. Okay. Lord God, Facebook group. Can I just view the post that I want to view? So that was the that was the work. That was the question about how do you push past being tired? I mean, yeah, you just get to a point where it's not an option. Could you buy the rights to Shadow Zone back from Nerdist? Oh wow, a yoinkita boinkita and a zoinks. I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. No, I don't think so. I don't know what kind of money I need to have, but I also don't know, maybe not a lot, because maybe they don't really care. Maybe I could. Maybe I could buy. Maybe if Talisman of Souls makes money for anyone, we can buy back Shadow Zone. Should I announce that to get people to back the film? But there's no guarantee that that's what would happen. But it would be funny if I was like, guess what? My movie made buku. I'm here to take back Shadow Zone. Yoink! I don't know if that would happen. Here's a question from Sweezy Fence. Do I like the band Bush, and how cute do you think Gavin Rossdale is? That sounds like somebody that knew me in high school. Yes, I loved Bush. Yes, Gavin Rossdale is a top-notch cutie. Okay. Oh, here's a good question. How will I approach the Disney references in the script? Well, they may be pulled. That's one of the reasons why I wanted to do the live read when we did it, was because I wanted people to see the kind of unadulterated version of the script. Because, yeah, the truth is, whoa, thank you, Mushroom Headbangers. Thank you. Thank you. All the Gadget Hack Wrench stuff may go. The Meatloaf song may go. Perfect Strangers references. Alf. Whoa. All that stuff may go. Who knows? I know Gavin is a dummy. I know Ken. I agree. I agree. I know he was a bad boy. So the script is going to an entertainment lawyer. So after the script read, let me just say this. I always knew. Oh yeah, Covert Radio. If we don't make the 500, would I trim the fat and launch a new fundraiser? No. This is it, my guy. We're getting to 500, or I'm hanging up the fedora. I think I've said that before. We're getting to 500, or it's good night for Onyx. That's all she wrote. This movie is the last great effort to make something of this decade with Onyx. Do I think making this movie will open any more doors professionally? I do think so. I think it will. I think, I think it will. I think it will. I feel like it's a good enough movie, even outside of the Onyx of it all, outside of the viral videos. I just think it's a really good little movie. And reading what we read on Saturday was so helpful because I know where the fat is. Like, I know it is. I know where it is. But I just haven't been able to sit down and make them trims because it's not just trimming. You know, when you trim, then all of a sudden certain things don't connect anymore. So it's not just trimming. It's trimming and then also like repurposing all of these little tendrils to still fit together somehow. That's the trick. Trimming is easy. It's, are you losing things that pay off later? For instance, a lot of people have said, yeah, you can lose a lot of that stuff at the meat hut that happens at the beginning of the film. They're not wrong. Everyone that's read the script has told me the meat hut stuff needs to be shorter. You're not wrong. OnyxTheMovie.com, OnyxTheMovie.com, OnyxTheMovie.com. But if you take out too much of the meat hut, well, you don't get the skeleton key usage that he uses later on in the mansion. You don't get the foreshadowing of skewer it out. You don't feel like he's been pushed to the edge and needs a new life. You don't get another discussion around his name and how he wants a different name and not the name that he's been called for years. So you've still got to be able to connect all those things to the other parts of the film where they pay off. That's the hard thing about rewriting. I can hack and slash, you know. But it's a matter of not losing those things that need to connect. Will my movie have slime? Hell no. My movie will have goo. The truth is it'll have goo and slime. Dude, my movie's going to have juice. My movie's going to have fucking all kinds of liquids. It's going to have ooze. It's going to have juice. It's going to have slime. It's going to have goo. Can you not cut anything from the actual script? No, I've got to cut stuff from the script. I've got to get it lower. Got to get that page count lower. And I want to. But anyway, this is what I was going to say. Doing that live read, all the stuff that I knew that I needed to be shorter, I could hear it when we read it. I was like, yep, that does need to be shorter. Yep, that does need to be shorter. Oh, can I add more interaction with Todd and Onyx to bring it full circle? Like them saying fuck you to each other? That's not a bad idea. And if I take that idea, I owe you $1,000. Yeah, it's hard to fit everything because I kind of feel like I wanted a Beetlejuice ending. I wanted them dancing and it just to be like, you know, they're happy. So I kind of wanted Todd to be incidental at the end. I didn't want Todd to have much of a presence or take up much space at the end because now Onyx is in his safe, happy place. Jump in the line. Okay. Any other questions? Any other thoughts about the script read? Somebody in the Facebook group, do I miss playing music? Yeah, all the time. Every day. That's why I always sing in movies. That's why Onyx sings the Meatloaf song in this movie. Because I miss singing all the time. What hobbies do I have? None. What games do I play and on what systems? None. Oh, wow. Nate, worst directing experience? Oh, boy. Okay, I'm going to tell a story about a short film, and I'm not going to say what short film, and I'm not going to say which actress, but I will tell you the story. I got to set on a short film I was shooting, and I had hired an actress I'd never worked with before, but she came recommended. And she showed up and immediately said she needed to go to the hospital. And I was like, oh my God, what happened? She had cut her leg on her own car door. That's fine. That's an accident. That I wouldn't want that to happen to anybody. She went to the emergency room. She came back 4 hours later. Half the shoot day is gone. I won't forget this question from Marty in the Facebook group. And for the rest of the day, even though she was back and on set, I quickly realized, now look, this is outside of, I am not blaming her for cutting her leg on her car. That was an accident, bottom line. What it then became was the whole day was about her and that bandage and that wound. So it just started to reveal itself that this whole thing was going to be about her. And now for the rest of the day, every question, hey, could you come over here? I think I can. You know, it was just like, it was I'm not saying that the accident was to then bring about more attention on her, but I am saying it worked to get more attention, and she railroaded the shoot. I mean, every moment she almost walked. I had to put someone specifically in charge of keeping her happy. She at some point called her father and said that she wanted to see Obama's doctor. You know, like, it was getting weird, okay? And I just realized, I was like, I have no, you know, there's a certain thing you enter into with actors as a director. No, it was not Olivia Munn. And there's a respect. You've got a job and I've got a job, but neither of our jobs are achievable if we're not completely in sync. And I just realized, like, we're not going to be in sync. She doesn't respect me. If anything, she's kind of getting off on fucking my day. And that's a terrifying feeling to have. It's like there's a wolf in the henhouse. When you're working with an actor that you realize doesn't have the best interests of the production in mind, that they actually care more about focus and attention being placed on them, no matter what the situation, whether it be drama or whether it be praise, that's terrifying, because you're trapped in a garage with a feral cat at that point, which is what exactly is happening in my life. Narcissistic personality disorder. Yeah. Not like most actors. I have found most actors to be very selfless people that are like down to get, you know, thrown around a room and beaten up, you know, in stage fights. And, you know, most actors I've worked with are incredibly humble. Okay. This question from the Facebook group from Marty. What changes would I make to the script if I do more passes besides shortening it? Okay. Most of them are shortening. Shrink the Meat Hut intro. Don't have 3 beats. Oh, thank you, Andrew. What's the best booze to drink? I mean, I'm a whiskey hound. Why don't I have one right now? Because I'm not drinking during the week. I've got too much work to do. I can have my like Friday nights to kind of have a drink and maybe even have like bad food. When's the trailer coming? Well, we got to get the movie financed first. You ain't no trailer until we get the movie funded at onyxthemovie.com, onyxthemovie.com, onyxthemovie.com. Back the film today. We're so close. 320, 321. The goal this week is to get to 350. Oh my gosh, can we get to 350? And think about that. Think about that. 350 by Friday. Whew. Okay. We're at 321 now. That's fantastic. If you get to 350 by Friday, you got 2 weeks. You got 2 weeks to get 150 grand. Pull out all the stops. I'm going to be live streaming every GD day. I'm going to be TikToking. I'm going to be click-clocking. I'm going to be putting up content on the YouTube channel. I'm trying to get some collabs, dude. Can I tell you? Man, it's really hard. It's really hard to get collabs with like bigger YouTube people. I thought the clout of Weird Satanist Guy would get me further than it has. It has arguably gotten me nowhere. I mean, as far as like YouTube collabs. Anyway, whatevs. I don't need to throw shade. Thank you, yeah boy. What was I talking about? Oh, trim the meat hut. Then there's kind of 3 scenes of introduction. There's all the Satanists meeting outside of the house, and like, I'm Mac, I'm Onyx, I'm Mr. Duke. Then they go in the house, they meet Bartok, and Bartok's like, I'm going to dress you down, I'm going to dress you down, you're a POS, I'm going to dress you down. Then they have a dinner where they all get to know each other and why they became Satanists. Then they have the Book of Blood ritual where they find out that they each have these great destinies, right? We got to get to that Book of Blood sooner. So I think you got to cut down those introductions in front of the house, maybe even lose it altogether. I think I don't want to lose the Bartok ritual because that's mirrored at the end of the film with Onyx. I mean, no spoilers for those that didn't see it, but cut down that, cut down the nightmare sequence. I'm sorry, but you'll have to cut down the nightmare sequence, Bows. You'll have to. John Goblikon, something might be in the works. I don't know what to do, Stryker. If people think the movie's evil, I'm over that shit, dude. I can't fuck with that. I can't fuck with anybody that, if anybody's actually concerned about my soul or Satan or God or the devil or heaven and hell, I got no info for you. I got nothing. I've got nothing to offer you. This is a comedy movie about a guy that works at a meat hut who has to save the planet Earth. That's it. If you're scared away from it because there's some satanic imagery, I mean, I don't know what to say. You know what I mean? I don't know. So I'm going to screenshot one of these questions. It's good. See, the problem with some of these suggestions, how do you know I haven't already tried those things? And I don't want to say who I've written out of that list that hasn't gotten back to me. Oh, because then maybe people will think they're bad, but they're just busy. Okay. Yeah, people are worried about my soul. I get messages all the time. I got a message on Kickstarter that was like, I'd back your film if you weren't working for the devil. And I'm like, well, you should back the film if you want to see a fucking funny movie, dude. Release date? No, that would only come after the film gets backed. And then we sell it for distribution. Okay. So cut the nightmare sequence down and cut maybe one of the rituals. There's like 3 rituals and then a 4th ritual, the final. It might just be too long, dude. What if the film bombs? Oh, I don't think, do films bomb? Films aren't, everything's just on fucking Netflix now. It doesn't matter. The movie getting made is the accomplishment. After that, I'm not judging this movie on like box office success. Do you know what I mean? The movie getting made is the win. That's the win. That's the win. That's the win. Think about it. If you get the movie made, that's it. That's it. It'll always be there. It'll be there. And if nobody likes it, it'll be there for the kids one day to pull it off a shelf or rent it off their streaming service and to say, fucking Beetlejuice rips. You know what I mean? I know Beetlejuice was a big hit, but I'm saying as an artist, you get to the point where you're like, the thing is the thing. That's it. The thing is the thing. It exists. It exists. Did I want Worm to go further? God, yes. But does it exist? It exists. It's there. It's there for someone to find 10 years from now. It's then for someone to watch. It's there for someone to watch right now. That's got to be it. That's got to be all like that's all that you're kind of like engaging as far as expectations go. Get 4chan behind me. I don't know how to do that. Get some funding from one of the satanic churches. A lot of the satanic churches and temples don't like me because they think I was making fun of them. Okay. Any other questions? Oh yeah. So, do I think it's lame that none of the deaths have any staying power? No. That's just not the movie it is. I mean, have you thought about the references? The only death in Gremlins is Mrs. Deagle, right? There's the only deaths in Fright Night are the first victim that Charlie witnesses. And then I guess you can count Evil Ed as a death. This movie is not a body count movie. It's a horror adventure. You know what I mean? It's a dark mansion movie. It's a spooky adventure movie. I mean, who dies in Ghostbusters, dude? Huh? You know what I mean? All the references I've been making since the beginning. I'm not fucking making Hostel. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be sassy. I'm sorry. And sure, part of me is getting defensive because, you know, I get the criticism all the time that my stuff's not straight horror. And I don't want it to be. I want it to be a funny Onyx movie with ghouls. So I'm sorry if I sounded defensive. It's possible that you could take one of the ghouls. See, okay, here's the thing. If you try to make one of the ghouls in the movie, like, for real die, spoiler alert, but, like, for the people that do, I don't know how to explain this without spoilers. Okay, let's take Hostel, for instance, right? You have to live with unlikable people for 50 minutes so that they can justify murdering them on screen. So that means for 50 minutes, you're watching people that you don't like. With the Onyx movie, I want to like everybody. I even want to like Farah, who winds up being kind of a villain, spoiler alert. So the only person that really dies is the bad person. I want all the people that were actually good and good-hearted to live. Also, can I spit something your way? The scenes where they're getting their souls sucked out, I actually want to be more devastating than murders in most horror films. Do you know what I'm saying? That's why I wrote that scene with Shelley getting her soul sucked out to be as long as it is. She's stumbling around the room, and that's all drama. That's not played for comedy. None of that is. And Bartok and Farah are in an argument while Shelley is gasping for air as the soul leaves her body, and that's going to be dark, slammed in the middle of this Onyx movie. I'm more interested in investigating how I can make that shit feel heavy. The way you would be scared by something in a movie that maybe you saw a little too young, but was still kind of meant for younger people. Not that the Onyx movie is, because it's rated R. Think about Poltergeist, dude. Poltergeist. Who dies in Poltergeist? Yeah, I mean, almost all the references for the Onyx movie are, that's the flow. I mean, that's the flow. I think the cat might be coming out. If he came out on the live stream, dude, it could be like yeah, Beetlejuice is and Little Mermaid level losing their souls level of misery. Yes. At the end, when Barbara and Adam are at Beetlejuice's wedding and they're crumbling and their pieces are falling off, their limbs are falling off. That's what I'm talking about, dude. That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Well, what if we did a little stakeout like that scene in Pee-wee? Exactly. The movie's supposed to have that kind of feeling where it's like the darkness is actually surprising because of the warmth that's around it all, right? So when there's a fucking like death, you're just like, I thought we were all having fun. It's that kind of flow. I just wish that cat would come out. I wish that cat, I wish we would just see that little kitty come right out of that little corner and start feasting on its dinner. Man, what I wouldn't give. Okay, onyxthemovie.com. We got to get to 350 by Friday. And then, holy moly, wow, we're only 150 away. Oh man, I'm breaking my talking cane. I'm going to need a new talking cane. Okay. Any last questions? The ending scene, I could already see a sequel. Yes, exactly. It also lands people in a place where, it can either be where we leave Onyx, or it can be where Onyx continues a journey. Duke of Funk, what up, boy? Stimmies for Onyx, whiskey weekend? Yeah, sure. I tell you what, if we make this Kickstarter, I'll have whiskey for an entire weekend. I've sent some stuff to Sam Raimi's production company. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I'll move the food further out, Ken. Good idea. I'll move it further out. And, I will. Oh, yeah, the script really that long, considering the narrator won't be taking up time? Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. A script reading is always going to feel longer than the actual movie would because, there's somebody reading the descriptions. It will be shorter than that, but it's still too long. That's all I can say. It will not be as long as that read, but it is still too long. Oh, Mary, asking about stretch goals. So, I've been told, don't even talk stretch goals until it looks like you're close to your goal. So that's the thing. Oh yeah, Ken, my cat, this rescue was in my bathroom for a while. Estimated runtime, good question. I'm talking about Gremlins. I'm talking Gremlins. I'm talking about an hour 45. That's my goal, right? Is that what Ghostbusters and Gremlins are? What are we talking about here? Yes. An hour 45. Man, I can't do math. And an hour 45. That's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about that sweet mix. Okay. How is Puck today? Whoa, someone's got a crush. Someone in chat has a crush on my cat. Puck is fine. He was outside when it stormed yesterday. So some of his fans were concerned. And he didn't come in until the rain stopped. So I don't know where he hid during the rainstorm, but he did come in and he is fine. And he's upstairs napping right now. Okay. Thank you so much. Sorry, I've been going for a while now. I'll try to reach out to Gerard Way. I do know a friend that works for him. Let me screenshot that to remember that question. Okay. So onyxthemovie.com. I've got to think of another, we need another big event. Here's a question. We need another big event like the script read, but what could that be? We've already done the script read. I've got a few things planned, but they're all like smaller little incentives. There's nothing, we need a big event. I mean, it may just come down to me doing a live stream that final couple days and staying awake here in the garage for a day straight. I mean, I could sleep on camera. Would that be weird? People watch me sleep. Can I go live on YouTube for 48 hours straight? I mean, that'll probably be what it is. But if there are any ideas for like another big event that you think could be a good incentive to bring in watch parties Wednesday nights. We're going to do a watch party tomorrow night on Twitch. We're watching Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. And yeah, live telethon, Nate. I mean, that's probably what it'll kind of be. Yeah. 24-hour stream. Yeah, I mean, maybe I even do that like Wednesday of next week. Yeah, maybe. Interact with chat as Onyx. Well, the Twitch live streams are kind of that. Okay. Okay, there are channels that are for 2 years, 24/7. Oh wow, really? Okay, I didn't know that. Okay, I should probably go. Thank you all for tuning in. My Twitch name is Slayer of the Bright Realm. So onyxthemovie.com. It's so hard to sign off because there's all these questions and I want to answer them. But that's been over an hour. I should go. I've got to shoot 2 Onyx videos right now. Tomorrow night, Twitch, Slayer of the Bright Realm. Follow Onyx on Twitch, Slayer of the Bright Realm. We're going to watch Elvira, Mistress of the Dark tomorrow night. Hey! Find me there. And thank you all again. Consider backing the film today. Meow, meow, Anthony.